Welcome back to MG Midget, birth of a race car, capturing the journey from car restoration to the 2022 MG Car Club Speed Series. In this episode I'm going to be refitting the fuel tank and also the fuel pump. The fuel tank itself was taken off quite some time ago, and what I've been doing off the car is give that a good clean with a wire wheel. I've inspected inside, and I don't have any pit holes or surface rust, so I know the tank is good to reuse. What I've done here is I've chipped out just a screwdriver and a hammer, tapped out the lock ring, checked for good movement of the float, used a new O-ring seal in here, put that back up, cleaned up the contact, and then what I've done is given the tank itself a coat of hammerite, just to give that some surface protection. First job before you fit the tank is I'm going to put a connector on here and a wire, which as you fit the tank will come across the top and exit over here. So I'm going to put a bullet connector on the end, so that can be connected to the loom once we've got the tank in place. Fitting the tank is fairly straightforward. What I've put is new rubber strips on here. A couple of the threads here were cross-threaded, so what I had to do is drill those out, grind them off, put a bolt through from the other side, and then just a small blob of weld to hold that in place. So I've got two new threads to hold the tank in place. 6 bolts hold it on in total. Much easier to fit when, of course, it's got no fuel in it because it's much lighter. So this is where I'm going to be fitting the tank. So tank is on. You can see the pipe exit there just blocked off temporarily. We've got the cable there for the level just hanging down, waiting for a connection. And what I'm going to do now is move on to the fuel pump. So I've got this area up here to do the fuel pump. What I've got is an electric style fuel pump. So this was what was on the car when I had it. It works, so I think that's going to be good enough, even for doing short sprints. So I'm going to try that, and what I'm going to do is get that mounted up. I'm going to put that up here in this corner and use 2 rubber bungs, bobbins, just for vibration. So I'm going to drill 2 8mm holes up in this area and mount that up. So I've got the 2 bobbins mounted up, so let's get the fuel pump on. Fuel pump in place, and I've put in, you can probably just make out there, a P-clip on the top of the arch, just to hold the fuel hose. So I'm going to connect the fuel hose up now. Using standard 6mm 1/4 inch fuel hose. It's R6 fuel hose, strictly speaking. It should be R9 spec to deal with the latest ethanol in fuel, but I'm going to use the R6 as the car's going to be under constant inspection anyway through the year, so I'll keep a close eye on its condition, internally and externally as well. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to be using proper fuel clamps as well, so I'm going to clamp the hose in place. I always cringe when I see Jubilee clips, although they do work, they don't crimp the pipe equally all the way around, which I think is quite important with fuel pipe. You don't want a fuel pipe coming off, especially in the engine bay, as it's very close to the exhaust. So I'm going to use this style of clip, and let's get the fuel hose on. So that's the job done. Fuel pipe all in, secured across the top, and then down to the fuel pump, and then fuel pump connected to the pipe leading underneath the car. So all that remains is to just connect up the voltage once the loom's in place, and I'm going to take the earth to a connection on the body, and then it should all be good to go.